As it's been less than a year since we gathered for the last Western New York Independent Living Family of Agencies annual membership meeting, we have a handful of community events capped off by a special presentation. For the first time, WNYIL had its annual meeting in Batavia in October 2016, the farthest from Buffalo ever, at the Quality Inn and Suite. Many baskets were auctioned off. Various awards were issued, such as the Dr. John F. Keating Volunteer of the Year to Avraham Ben Farouk. Board President Dennis Kessel spoke on the last year at the WNYIL agencies, and guest speaker Christina Curry, the Executive Director for the Harlem Independent Living Center, informed us about permanent removal of barriers to access for people with disabilities. For the 37th or so time, WNYIL gave an opportunity for voters with disabilities and the public to meet and question those running in the general election in its Meet the Candidates Day. Among others, Buffalo was pleased to welcome New York State Senator Patrick Gallivan, State Assembly members Monica Wallace and Michael Kearns, as well as Erie County District Attorney John Flynn. At Independent Living of the Genesee Region's own glance at those on the November ballot, the guests included New York State Senator Michael Ransenhofer and U.S. Representative Chris Collins. 2 days later, Independent Living of Niagara County had its own parade of hopefuls, notably New York State Senator Robert Ort and Niagara County Sheriff James Vautour. Some fellow made sure the American Council of the Blinds of New York State's October 2016 convention had the WNYIL services in Braille. The staff building activities at the WNYIL staff retreat at the Buffalo Marriott Hotel included making paper constructs to illustrate drawings of services. Once more, Santa brought holiday cheer to the Children of Enhancement Program participants. Parents provided a few gifts. Mrs. Claus joins the merriment, and some folks are really in the spirit of the season. Kathy Kalikia and the staff of Independence Express were invited to tour the assembly area of the van customization firm Main Mobility in Clarence to learn more about what is needed to install wheelchair lifts or ramps in the vehicles and make other accommodations. Volunteers flooded the lobby of the Buffalo office on February 12th, getting ready to take the bus to Albany to join advocates from across the Empire State for the New York Association for Independent Living's Legislative Day to inform our elected officials of our programs and staff a literature table. When Governor Cuomo released his budget for the coming year, advocates returned to Albany on March 7th, this time to the Capitol, under the banner "Don't Turn Back the Clock on Disability Rights," to demand explanations for promised assistance that was not included. Tired of being brushed off, 25 protesters from across the state blocked the entrance to the governor's office and were definitely noticed. They got arrested. Independent Living of the Genesee region has hosted an Art Coves kiosk of free art supplies for artists with disabilities for nearly a year, courtesy of the University Heights Art Association. Volunteers gathered in mid-April for a packaging party to assemble new project bundles to restock the giveaway center. Later in the month, Mental Health Peer Connection had the honor of hosting the Western New York premiere of an internationally known documentary, Healing Voices, at the Amherst Theater on Main Street. Following the lives of 3 people who actually hear voices over a 5-year period, it offered great insights, which were explored by a panel which included the producer, one of the subjects, afterwards. As Batavia is the home of the New York State School for the Blind, once again this year, ILGR invited citizens to a lunch in the dark there in late April. Being blindfolded and assisted by sighted guides, participants discussed what accommodations diners without sight may need. MHPC held a breakfast with the policymaker on April 28th at Templeton Landing in Buffalo, including a basket auction, during which participants could hear from and address questions to the Lovejoy District Common Council member, the Honorable Richard A. Fontana. In early May, ILNC also held a policymaker breakfast with Kurt Maurer, Director of Western New York Region 1 of the New York State Office for People with Developmental Disabilities, at Antonio's Banquet Center. Again this year, we raised funds for new vans for Independence Express transportation program with a Society Night for Independence Gala at Salvatore's Italian Garden. WIBB Channel 4's Angelo Christoforos was our celebrity MC. The eclectic band Buffalo City Limits provided music for dining. There were auctions aplenty, and Batavia grassroots disability advocate Russell Hatcher received our Independent Citizens Award. Say, I've heard of Charlie's Angels. Is this Ernie's Girls? ILGR established an ongoing 4-day-per-week presence in Wyoming County with the ribbon cutting of an office in the Community Action Building in Perry, New York. The Articulations Ability exhibition Painted Horse started in early June, marking a new stage of ILGR's collaboration with the University Heights Art Association to provide opportunities for artists with disability. Peter Langen placed 10 of his paintings of wildlife at ILGR's office for a 3-month display. As promised, here is the Something Special, Opening Doors, a professionally produced video in which our directors explain what we do for individuals with disabilities and the community.
Opening Doors. Through the independent living philosophy of education, empowerment, and equality, Western New York Independent Living Incorporated has shown tens of thousands of individuals with disabilities how to open doors.
Western New York Independent Living is comprised of 5 agencies directed and staffed by people with disabilities. All the agencies are engaged with the provision and implementation of 5 core services of independent living skills, peer counseling, community and individual advocacy, information and referral, and transitioning from the institution back into their homes.
The 5 agencies that make up Western New York Independent Living are the Independent Living Center, Independent Living of the Genesee Region, WNYIL, the Mental Health Peer Connection, and Independent Living of Niagara County.
Independent Living in Niagara County works with people of any and all disabilities throughout all of Niagara County. We work to educate, to empower, and for the equality of people of any and all disabilities. Simply, we really try to help people make sure that they have equal rights, that they're treated equally, that they're empowered to do things for themselves. Rather than giving people fish, we teach them how to fish. And if someone comes to us with a goal, we help them reach those goals, but we don't do them for them. Peer counseling is one of our core services, and it's probably simply to me, it's the most empowering of ways that we work with each other. As a peer-run agency, from the top down, we're required to be people with disabilities, from the board of directors to our staff, and then the people we work with are people with disabilities. And peer counseling is the language of empathy. It's understanding that myself as a person with disabilities and the people I work with, we've been through things that other people may not be able to identify or understand. So because of those things, when I speak to people who have walked a similar path, we can identify in ways that are different. And peer counseling is simply that. It's not a professional, it's not a doctor, psychiatrist, or anyone that may have a title, but it's simply another person with a disability that's able to identify and say that, like, I've been through that too, and this is what I did.
One of our core services at the Independent Living Center is advocacy. Advocacy can be done on a systems level to bring about change on a county, state, and national level. Individual advocacy is on a case-by-case basis, looking at accessible housing, transportation, for an individual to be more integrated in the community. It is a great opportunity for individuals to educate the community about those living in it with disabilities. Another core service at the Independent Living Center is transition. Transition of youth and supporting them through their academics, employment, and continuous education goals, but also looking at transition for individuals who want to get out of institutional care and back into the community, making sure they have all services that they need, that they're accessible to a bus line, and needed services and supports to live as independently as possible in the community.
Disabilities have no borders. There are disabled populations in urban, suburban, and rural areas of Western New York. That's why WNYIL has an independent living center in Batavia, serving the rural areas of the Genesee region.
An independent living center is a place that people can come to if they have a disability and they need any sort of assistance in the community. A large part of what an independent living center does is teach independent living skills, which include finding a job, locating housing, and arranging for transportation. 2 things that are unique about our center is that we have an Art Coves booth, which is a freestanding kiosk in our lobby, and people can take fine arts materials from it for free. Our Independent Living Center offers support groups around anger management and grief and loss, but we also run something called diabetes self-management programs and chronic disease self-management programs, where people can learn how to manage their diseases.
Western New York is an area with 3 Native American reservations. WNYIL is an independent living center that serves all the Native American population on and off the reservations of Western New York.
I immediately think in regards to WNYIL, which actually means the good path in the Seneca language. And a part of the brainstorming on that was, what do? We help people to stay on a good path. Whatever the needs are, that's what we help them with to keep them on a good path. It can be support groups, it can be going to a doctor's appointment where you're there assisting them, you're accompanying them as an advocate. It's empowering them, it's helping them to learn how to live as independently as they can, increasing their quality of life. Information and referral is one of the core services of independent living centers. And if you think of it in terms of like a library where someone goes into the resource center and asks, I need to find information about such and such. I need this to be able to do this. Whom do I need to go to find this? That's basically what information and referral entails from an independent living center's perspective.
The Mental Health Peer Connection serves those in Erie County with mental health issues.
Mental Health Peer Connection provides life coaching, job support, services for people with addiction. In life coaching, we act as peers. Everyone that works here has a mental illness, and we provide our experience to those getting out of institutions, living in the community, dealing with life on life's terms, and how we've done that. The Addict to Addict program assists people who are ready to stop using and get into recovery. And we provide on-call service to be available to that person to get them into treatment. The Job Club assists people getting employment. Many people with psychiatric disabilities are told they will never work again. We have proven those people wrong. We provide interview techniques, job preparation, job skills, communication skills needed to help have successful employment outcomes for people that want to work.
One of our largest programs is Taking Control, a program that puts consumers in control of their home care.
Taking Control is a program where the consumer is in charge of their own health care attendance. They schedule, hire, fire, train, supervise. It gives them control over their life and their home care. Some of the changes that have taken place are the ability for the parent to become the attendant of an adult child over 21 and get paid for it. So this allows the parent to give up their job and stay home and take care of their adult child.
Independence Express is an empowering service we offer that gets consumers where they want to be.
Independence Express is a transportation program in Western New York that serves people with disabilities in Erie, Niagara, Genesee, Orleans, and Wyoming counties. We take people wherever they'd like to go in the community so that they can be a part of their community. They can get out to go to the mall, they can go to wherever they'd like in the community, events, go out to eat. Our drivers are also people with disabilities, and they have a connection with the people we serve. And they know that they're going to get safe, reliable transportation when they ride with us.
Independence Express allows me to be a contributing member of my community by transporting me to my job, which is very important to support my family, and allows me to do recreational activities, which are also very important for me to be a contributing member of the community.
In Niagara, Erie, Orleans, Genesee, and Wyoming counties, we offer Health Home Coordination. This is a person-centered approach to coordinating health care for people who are on Medicaid, have 2 or more chronic health conditions, and/or a behavioral health disability.
Health home care coordination is we assist the individual for a patient-centered plan of care that has the triple aim goal of reducing emergency room visits as well as improving their quality of care and access to care within the system. Not only do we focus on the medical needs, but we also do the social determinants of health. Those include housing, transportation, and benefits.
Education, empowerment, and equality are opening doors for individuals with disabilities. If we can show you how to open doors, or if you would like to help with our mission through contributions or volunteering, contact us at 716-836-0822. Visit us on the web at www.WNYIL.org.
Looking forward to all the Western New York Independent Living agencies working with you in 2017 and onward.